Whoa, yes. We have a game this week, guys. We actually have a football game in a few days. I'm very excited. First week of the season, of all places in Brazil. But you know how I feel about that. But at least we have football. That's all that matters at the end of the day. What we can control is what we can control. What we can is what we can't. But we're going to be talking about Vic Fangio's press conference, Kellen Moore's press conference, talking about Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. 4 players from injuries are coming back to play this week, which is fantastic. At the right time, a Sidney Brown update, and a lot more. So let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's enjoying. I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday weekend. I hope everyone had a good time. And as the days get closer, the days are becoming longer, and we're going out of our minds because Eagles football is slowly getting there by the minute to the hour, and we're just begging for some football right now. Okay, now we had the press conferences between Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, so I want to talk about a couple things, really of the more important things going into these press conferences. But before anything, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek, and this is a word from our sponsors. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticket app with over 70,000 events, over 28 million downloads. And if you're an Eagles fan as well as I am, we're either going to away games to take over the stadiums, or we're going to stick at home and make sure we're rooting for our favorite team in history. But not just sports. It could be any type of festival, any type of concert. You can get tickets for almost anything, fast and easy. All you have to do is go to the SeatGeek website, type in the event you want to go to, and pick your tickets. These tickets are scaled from 1 to 10. Green meaning excellent deal, orange meaning good deal, and red meaning bad deal. This way you know you're getting the best value for the tickets you are purchasing out of your pockets, and that's what all that matters. So I came through for you guys, my Eagles fans, my supporters, to let you know that there's a promo code Joey Shakes for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. I repeat, use promo code Joey Shakes to get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek. Thank you for SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the content. So to get into the press conferences, as of right now, we do talk about Vic Fangio and his words about, obviously, our 2 draft picks going into this game. And a lot of high praise is going to Quinyon Mitchell, where Fangio pretty much said he's going to be playing probably the whole entire game, which is insane. Where I'm not surprised over this, but because even if we switch and we play base, he'll be playing outside, inside nickel, or just, or outside the whole time. So it really just depends what we're doing. They could move Isaiah Rodgers to the inside, depending on the scheme, whatever they feel like doing out there. You have a guy in Quinyon Mitchell that could play inside, outside. Fangio has taken a big gamble with a few players, and one of them is, yes, Quinyon Mitchell, because they did take him out of position. They put him in that nickel spot. He did struggle in the beginning because we didn't hear much from him beginning of training camp, with no pads on. And then once the pads got on and once practices went by, it just seems like he was making good plays. But iron sharpens iron. You're facing A.J. Brown. You're facing Devontae Smith. You're facing the best of the best. Quinyon Mitchell can't get any worse. He's only going to get better. Now, a statistic that I heard of, because it seems like since, I think, before week 5 of a starting cornerback that's drafted in Philadelphia in the first round, I think this hasn't happened since Eric Allen in 1988, which is absolutely insane. I mean, not only are you drafting, you're adding more resources to your secondary, you're getting production from these coordinators. Vic Fangio taking a big gamble, and now you possibly have a #1 guy, not only can play inside, but should be your future outside guy. But Vic Fangio did say at his press conference, I really want to keep him on at one spot, which makes me a little nervous, because what if this is a Landon Dickerson situation where Quinyon Mitchell is so good at nickel, they don't want to move him. They don't want to move him anymore. You know what I mean? So then, Isaiah Rodgers plays well on the outside. Then what? You have to pay Isaiah Rodgers, which would be good, because then if they're able to afford depending on the craziest year that Isaiah Rodgers can have this year, and he's earned it as a number 2 cornerback. Then you got to think of next year with Keely Ringo, and obviously with Slay leaving, could retire, could get traded, depending what happens right there. But I really would like a first-round pick to be on the outside for the rest of his career. Fangio says that they want to keep him in one spot if they can, but the versatility is there. It's not because of Quinyon. Yes, Quinyon puts in the hard work, but Vic Fangio has put him in that position to learn 2 positions where he makes plays on the inside, where he makes plays on the outside. Like I said, iron sharpens iron. Facing the players that you're facing offensively is just fantastic with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and the rest of this offense is just going to make him better, okay? So I thought that was really cool when he talked about Quinyon Mitchell. He's going to play all of the snaps pretty much. And guys, we actually have a first-round talent playing corner right now that's going to play Friday, and we didn't make a bad pick, guys. I think we've noticed throughout this offseason program that Quinyon Mitchell was legit. It took a little time, not too much time, but when you take him out of position, put him at nickel, he's got to learn that on top of being an outside guy. And it seems like you can have a first-round talent on the outside of the future. God forbid you need to put him inside for some reason for specific matchups. The versatility's there, and it gives the Eagles so many options for this secondary going forward for those moments where you have to make adjustments and have to make the right call on the field if you have an injury or something does happen there. Quinyon is there to save the day. Really like those words from Vic Fangio. Now, he did talk about Cooper DeJean. He said, Vic Fangio and Cooper DeJean's readiness. He said, I think he's prepared as he can be, but having said that, not where he needs to be. Okay? A lot of Eagle fans are pissed off, and I don't get it. People are going to trash him for that 3rd preseason game he had. I looked at him. He got better throughout the game. He stuck out like a sore thumb, okay? And to be honest with you, I said to myself, man, he looks like a safety. His tackling is A+, beating blockers in front of their face, always involved in tackles. Had a couple coverages that maybe he trailed a little bit, but this guy hasn't hit since last November. I have to talk about this every time because people just don't realize. Of course, I didn't think Cooper DeJean was going to be ready for this game entirely. Not saying he's not going to get playing time here, but he's catching up, guys. Like, this is pretty much his last game was his preseason game. Pretty much his preseason with a week's worth of another few days of practice after that, a couple weeks after that. So really, there hasn't been much time with Cooper DeJean. He's going through the whole process. He's missed training camp since the beginning when we had no pads on. Okay, and that's when we had pads on and when we started to get more physical, that's where he missed the most crucial time. He was limited, I think, the second joint practice with the Patriots, but he was still limited. He was only playing about 12 snaps of practice. Not that much to be where he should be. So I really can believe this from what Vic Fangio did say about him. And, I think we just have to get through a couple games, and I think he'll catch up very fast. I'm not really worried about it. Vic Fangio has said he's been throwing a lot on these guys' plates, especially for young guys, and there's nothing wrong with that because, look, the only way I'm going to find something wrong with my car is if I drive it like a maniac and see what's really wrong with it sometimes. I mean, it's a really bad illusion, but really at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where throw as much as you want as onto a player and see how they can handle it. And you'll know the weaknesses and strengths easily just from that. Really bad analogy, but I've done that with, past vehicles in the past. Something's wrong with the let me see how far I can drive it. We'll see how far it can go. So you never know what could happen there. So on the 1st and 2nd round picks of Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean going in the right direction, just needs a little bit more time, which is very, very understanding. And Quinyon Mitchell, I hope he gets a pick. I have Quinyon Mitchell getting a pick this Friday against Green Bay, and he's gonna get his first pick in the NFL. I can't wait. Quinyon Mitchell has been turning out. I just want to see that feisty, if he talks a little trash. There's so much mystery to this game with some of these players. I want to see how they act, how they make plays, and I can't wait to see everything unfold in front of our eyes right now. So that was Vic Fangio. Now, Kellen Moore, okay? Now, other than the regular PR, the offense, Jalen Hurts is doing well, and everything's, great and dandy, okay? I think the number one thing to talk about here is obviously Jahan Dotson, because he has not been here long enough. So Kellen Moore did talk about Jahan Dotson, how he makes a difference in this offense, but he is still learning this offense. He will start most likely on Friday, but he's still in this progression stage where you can't come in for 1 week and literally know this entire offense, a week and a half, whatever it is. Okay. It's, just coming in this late, you're with another team. And, totally different scheme, totally different personnel, totally different everything. You get traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, and there's a time variant thing going on with Jahan Dotson right now. So just have to give him more time going forward. I feel like he will get a couple catches. Probably he will have some mismatches against Green Bay's defense, just because I don't think they have 3 legit corners, or at least after their number 1 corner, I don't think they have really 2 legit corners that really have the chance to cover Devontae Smith or even Cooper DeJean. And if you're going to put a safety on him, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day for that defense. I think both offenses going into this game, both defenses going into this game are going to be up to the task for both pretty good offenses. So I'm very excited about that going forward. And, Kellen Moore is going to put this team in the right position. This offense, we need to see Kellen Moore make adjustments. Okay. We need to see the pre-snap motion, the run game with Saquon Barkley, which he has already discussed. The run game has got to be crucial, finding their identity in that area. But not even that, but obviously, Jalen Hurts going through his progressions and having that strong camp that he has had, without preseason games, because that's where I'm very lacking with this offense right now, where I feel like we're going to look very slow at the beginning, because I don't want to waste a couple series because we didn't play in preseason and the guys haven't got enough work together in a real game-like situation. So really the only thing I'm worried about offensively, and I think everything will pan for itself, the adjustments and reacting and making changes, maybe moving receivers around, maybe using different something. I think there's something there, and that's the difference that we didn't have last year. We played basic and literally just played. Didn't use the middle of the field, the slants, the crossers. We're going to have all of that this year with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore does not waste a strand of talent. Doesn't matter if you're wide receiver 3. Doesn't matter where you are on the field. He loves his tight ends. He loves his wide receiver 3s. He loves his wide receivers. He loves his running backs. Saquon Barkley better have the most carries in this game. Otherwise, I probably will have an issue with that going forward. Depending if we're up 3-4 scores, then it's a different damn story. But I'll get into another day, and hopefully not get into that another day. So that was Kellen Moore's press conference to really sum it up. And Jahan Dotson, I just can't wait to see him just get better, since he's going to know this offense a lot better as the days and the weeks go on after practices and playing in these games too. So it's going to be great. Now, injuries for the Philadelphia Eagles. We get 4 players back. Now, Isaiah Rodgers had an undisclosed injury. I don't think it was anything. I don't think they even want to report it, whether it was a personal matter or it was just something so small they just had to let him have a rest day a couple days ago. But Dallas Goedert is back from the oblique injury. Johnny Wilson is back from the concussion, so hopefully you see Johnny Wilson in red zone, short yardage, something like that. And you have Jalix Hunt coming back from the oblique injury as well. So you get another guy. I was really afraid that we're going to be missing Dallas Goedert and Jalix Hunt, especially that edge position. Jesus, we need his help, much help as possible. Are we going to get pressure with this defensive line? We're going to find out. I'm not worried about the inside with the DTs. I'm really worried about the edge. And you have to think about this too, because they could put Milton Williams on the edge. They could move guys around. They could play inside, outside techniques. And, so if they feel like they're not getting enough of a push, there's going to be blitz packages. And if they don't feel like they're getting enough push from their defensive line, they might start to switch some guys around on that line and get the matchups that they want. So I'm praying Nolan Smith has a big game. I'm praying that Jalix Hunt is good on the perimeter. Jalix Hunt has surprised Fangio a lot more than he's ever been surprised in his life. We saw the talent there at practice, and hopefully it transforms into these games. So nice to have those guys back. Dallas Goedert, crucial, because there's no tight end too. For me, most likely, it seems like they're going to bring up they're probably not going to bring up a tight end. I don't know if they're going to add a third tight end to the group if they feel like they need 3, because it's only Dallas Goedert and Calcaterra right now. And they both seem to be healthy right now. So Dallas Goedert is coming back at the right time. He's missed some practices, but he'll have some practices this week and get some things going. We really need Dallas Goedert to stay healthy. Please, God, please stay healthy. That's all I got to say about the injury. So that's a huge, huge thumbs up going into this week in Brazil. Now, lastly, I want to go over Sidney Brown, okay? So Jeff McClain reported that Eagles safety Sidney Brown, who started the season on PUP as he rehabs from an ACL injury to his right knee, expressed optimism about his return. Said he expects to be off PUP after the minimum 4 weeks, would need 2 weeks to ramp up for what he hopes is a return by week 6, okay? So, yes, I don't even think he'll be ready by week 6, okay? Obviously, when he comes back week 5, which is our bye week, he'll have that extra week because the Eagles don't play that week. 5 is the bye. He'll just practice for another week, hopefully by week 6. I mean, look, this is another safety. This is a guy that had a bad ACL injury at the end of last year. The later you have these injuries, these big injuries, the worse it gets, the more rehabbing. And then once you get back, you have to get into football shape. But to be honest with you, he's been sprinting, he's been running all over the field. Like, he looks pretty good. He looks way ahead of schedule from the practice we did see a few days ago on some video of him running around and stuff like that, which is great. I don't know. This could be a big weapon for us down the line of the season, maybe towards the middle. I'm not really sure if they're just going to throw him into a game by week 6. We'll see what happens. Like he says, he needs a couple weeks to revamp himself, and he needs to start hitting. He hasn't been physical yet. He hasn't hit since last year. When that physicality part is gone for you, you have to build yourself up like it's their preseason all over again. Okay, so these guys take a while to come back, but hopefully when he does come back, and honestly, guys, I didn't think he was going to come back this year. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will. Maybe week 6 is going to be too early because what they say now doesn't mean much of anything. It's up to the coaching staff. It's up to the doctors. It's not up to what he says and how he feels. If he feels right, they will let him play, and adding another corner/safety hybrid type player. And I've liked Sidney Brown at safety. And since this is the perfect opportunity now because James Bradberry is out 6 to 8 weeks, this would be the perfect opportunity for Sidney Brown to return at safety as the third safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. So this fits perfectly with James Bradberry now being out to IR, and Sidney Brown is going to be taking that spot, it looks like, by that time. Okay, now they have to make a big decision. Once Sidney Brown comes back, what do they do? Do they let go of Bradberry, or do they keep both of them and they just let go of another position? Because Bradberry will be back sooner or later. Sidney Brown will take that spot, and they're favoring Bradberry so much because he's a vet, but I haven't seen enough play from him. I don't think he can play that position. He can't cover tight ends. He can't open field tackling. It's just been yikes, ugly, and because of just him being a vet and transitioning so well, he has a high IQ and all this great stuff talked about, but when I see it on the field, I don't see it, So Sidney Brown could be lurking for that number 3 spot really soon, and we definitely miss Sidney Brown a bunch because with his legs, his footing, his athleticism, he's very rangy with his feet, can cover a lot of field with his speed, and even when it looks like he's getting beat, even last year when there were times where he was getting beat, he's a hard worker, man. He goes full throttle, catch it up, to a wide receiver last minute to get that last minute deflection, and we've seen it a few times already, really last year. So this is a huge one for down the line for the Eagles. The main thing the Eagles need to do is win games and stay healthy, and I think we'll be in the right zone there. So that is the update on Sidney Brown. Let me know what you guys think about what Vic Fangio said about Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. Do you think Cooper DeJean will get playing time this week? Do you think he needs a little bit more time? And Quinyon Mitchell just being a stud as usual, and hopefully will showcase why we drafted him in the first round this week. Let me know what you guys think about the injuries. Dallas Goedert coming back. Do you think we should add another tight end to this game? Bring somebody up from the practice squad this game. We'll see what happens. And obviously the big update on Sidney Brown. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Get promo code, use promo code $20 off. Promo code Joey Shakes for $20 off your Eagles tickets, festivals, concerts, you name it. Download the SeatGeek app. I repeat, $20 off, promo code Joey Shakes. Okay, click the link in the description and get $20 off Eagles tickets. Any type of tickets you want for concerts, festivals, anything, go get your tickets. I will see you guys on the next one because every day closer, it's just getting more exciting. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes it up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.